Welcome back to the Lingua Loom. Today we're going to start another episode of the Semantics series, which is Hyponymy and Hypernymy. So language is built in hierarchies. It is not a linear order, it is hierarchical. So to understand them is to understand how our lexicon is organized. So this is the topic. Let's start it. Before starting, please do like, subscribe and share. And do comment, that is very important and encourages us to do much more for the channel. The taxonomic backbone. Language organizes the world into nested categories. So every language imposes a taxonomic structure and reality, grouping, which is grouping similar things into categories, categories into broader categories, and so on. So the relations that hold between specific and general terms are called hyponymy and hypernymy. Hyponymy is specific to general direction and hypernymy is general to specific. Together they form the taxonomic backbone of the mental lexicon. And they're the most important organizing principle in all of the lexical semantics. So let's start. This is a relation. The fundamental question is simple. Is A a kind of B? If the answer is yes, if you can truthfully say an X is a kind of Y, then Y is a hyponym of Y, and Y is hypernym of X. A robin is a kind of bird, therefore robin is the hyponym of bird, which is robin is specific here and bird is general here. And bird is the hypernym of robin. A bird is a kind of animal, therefore bird is a hyponym of animal. So this is we're going into more general. Here bird has been specified and animal has become general. This nesting continues. Animal is a hyponym of living thing. So thus we're going even more general. Living thing is a hyponym of entity, creating a vertical change of increasingly general categories. The key insight is that hyponymy is a relation of semantic inclusion. The meaning of the hyponym includes all the meaning of its hypernym, plus additional specific content. Every robin has the properties of the bird, plus robin-specific properties. The robin inherits birdness, it does not borrow it. So this shows that, like in buff, hyponymy, which is specific to general, you're moving in upward direction, like in umbrella, first the most general term, then coming down, and this kind of. Whereas hypernym, general to specific, it is downward movement. You can use this as a trick. Hyper, like up, which is short, hyper, down. So hyponymy is the relation of semantic inclusion. X is a hyponym of Y if a sense of X is including in the sense of Y. That is, if something that is an X is necessarily a Y. Y is the hyponym which is subordinate of X. So this is how you build lexical relations. Let's look at the definition. Hyponymy, first one, which is the specific direction. Hypo, as I said, upward movement. So hyper is the most specific term, the one whose meaning is narrower, more restricted, and more informative. It denotes a subset of what its hypernym denotes. Saying the hypernym entails the hypernym. If something is a robin, it must be a bird. A hypernym carries more information. It tells you everything a hypernym tells you, plus it tells you much more because it is specific about something. So it includes general information too and specific information too. Whereas hypernym, the general direction, a hypernym is a general term, the one whose meaning is broader, more inclusive, and less specific. It denotes a superset, but here in hypernym it's a subset, whereas hypernym superset. What its hyponym denotes. The hypernym does not entail the hyponym. Knowing something is a bird does not tell you whether it is a robin, a sparrow, or an eagle. So, hypernym does not give us information about hypernym, but hypernym gives us all the information about hypernym. So the hypernym is less informative. It leaves the specific kind unspecified. So this is what I'm saying. The hypernym, the specific term, narrower meaning, more informative, entails the hypernym robin, sparrow, eagle, hypernyms of bird. Whereas this is the diagnostics test that is used, and X is a kind of Y. Whereas hyponym, the general term, broader meaning, less informative, does not entail a hyponym. Bird, animal, creature, or hyponyms, diagnostics as a Y includes X as a type. So let's move forward. Explore the hierarchy. So here it is, we're going to explore the hierarchy. This is how we deal with this. So here it is. Wait a second. So it's going to tell about information first, where it's called a lot. Looking at the category of animal, then we'll look at plant and like this. So the first one, this is how the category is: living animal, living things, animals, mammal, birds, fish, specific breed. So this is how it is shown in vertical. The first on top is living thing, which is hyponym, which is general, then animal. We're getting specification, and here the most specified one, which is hypernym, then mammal, and under it comes bird, which is co-hypernym, then dog, basic level, robin, basic level, Labrador, another basic level. We have clicked living things first, so we can just, okay. Living things, so superordinate. The broadest superordinate, everything alive is a living thing. As a hypernym, it covers plants, animals, fungi, bacteria. In a sentence, there is a living thing there. It entails by any more specific claim about animals or plants. So let's look at animals. Animals, a hypernym. A hyponym, it is hypernym of mammal, whereas it is hyponym of living things. There is an animal here. This entails by there is a dog here, but not vice versa. You cannot say that there is a dog here and this is an animal. First you have to specify that there is an animal, and if you're talking about dog, it's going to come into your lexicon that it is an animal. This is the basic level term for some users, but most people use dog or cat is more basic. So let's look at mammal, intermediate or hyponym of animal. Mammals are the kind of animals. A hyponym of dog, cat, whale, and bat. Knowing something is a mammal tells you it is warm-blooded, gives birth to live young mostly, and nurses with milk. This information is inherited by all mammal hyponyms. Let's look at bird, co-hyponym. Co-hyponym of mammal under animal. A bird is a kind of animal, but not all kinds of mammal. Birds and mammal are incompatible at this level. Bird is itself a hyponym of robin, sparrow, eagle, and penguin. And dog, a basic level term, the most stature fast retriever for this animal. A hyponym of mammal. Every dog is a mammal and an animal and a living thing. A dog is not a bird or fish. So robin, basic level hyponym of bird. Every robin is a bird, which means each robin is an animal and living thing. There is a robin there. This entails that this is a bird there. You can change it there, which changes the hyponym and hypernym. But there is a bird there does not entail that there is a robin there, because if you're talking about a bird, it can be any bird. It is not specified to just robin. Then Labrador. subordinate level hyponym of dog. Labrador is a kind of dogs. This level requires specific information. Most children learn dog before Labrador. The subordinate level adds specific information at the cognitive cost. So this is how lexical analysis, which is semantic analysis of hyponym and hyponyms, are done. Like this is it given by this chart. Let's look at another one, which is plant. So first we have living things, plant, then tree, flower, grass, then specific species, living things, then plants, trees, flowers, and then under it rose, oak, jasmine. Let's look at living thing first. I clicked it. Okay. Living thing, the topmost superordinate of all biological entities. Animal, plant, fungi, bacteria all fall under this umbrella. Then plant. Plant, a hyponym of living thing. Hyponym of trees, grass, flower, cactus. There is a plant, there is entailed by there is a tree there. Knowing that there is a plant tells you nothing about which kind. Let's look at tree. Okay, let's scroll it to see more visibly. Tree, a hyponym of plant and hyponym of oak, pine, mango, and cherry. Well, this is showing the specification, so that's why it is hyponym. Trees are kinds of plants, woody, perennial, typically tall. Every oak is a tree, which is a plant, which is a living thing. So if you're going analysis like this, then you're moving from specific to general, which is hyponymy. Tree done, let's move to flower. Co-hyponym of tree under plant, flowers, or plants but not trees. Incompatible with trees at this level. Flower is itself a hyponym of rose, tulip, sunflower, and jasmine. Well, again, an oak, which is gulab in Urdu. Basic level hyponym of flower. Every rose is a flower, is a plant, which is a living thing. Entails runs upward automatically. Now let's look at oak. Basic level hyponym of tree. And oak is a kind of tree inheriting all tree properties plus oak specific properties. Then jasmine, which is chambeli in Urdu. A basic level hyponym of flower in Urdu. Flower. Culturally significant in South Asian poetry and culture. Its fragrance is a recurring image in Urdu ghazal. Entails flower, plant, living thing. I was saying flower, which is basically wrong. It is flower. Tongue slip. Vehicle. So let's look at it. Vehicle, we're moving to specific models. Then if we take arrows to this direction, which is the left side, then it will be moving to journal. But now the arrows on this side is specific. Then land, water, air vehicles, then car, bird, plane, and specific model. So this is the hierarchy. Vehicle, land vehicle, car, bus, Toyota, aeroplane, bicycle. Let's click vehicle. So vehicle superordinate, the top level hyponym of all mean of transportation, covers land, water, and air vehicle. So journal that it adds little specific information beyond it transpose thing or people. So vehicle is basically something, a mean of transportation. No much more of information other than this. Well, let's look at land vehicles we have got. Water vehicle would be boat. We're dealing with land vehicles. A hyponym of vehicle, things that travel on land. Example, a car, bus, train, bicycle, motorcycle. Then car. Here we have it is a vehicle, Toyota. A land vehicle, cars are the kind of land vehicle. Then again a bus, then let's get to Toyota. Subordinate level hyponym of car. A Toyota is a kind of car. This level requires brand knowledge. You must learn car before knowing Toyota. Toyota is like adding a category or specific information. Then comes airplane. There are co-hyponym of land vehicle. So it is a hypernym of jet, plane, and glider. Well, obviously they're for flying, but they have to move in a runway to fly. Then bicycle, basic level, simply in mountain bike or any other kind, or road bike. Then these are the emotions we're just now looking at, as you might have understood quite, as we have discussed quite a lot. Feelings, emotion, positive, negative, specific emotion. Feeling, then emotion, these are Urdu terms that are written with them as feeling, which is Urdu is ehsas, emotion, jazba. Positive emotion, joy, khushi, fear, hope, ecstasy, wujd, the melancholy, udasi. Let's look at feeling. Feeling, the broader subordinate covering all subjective mental states, including emotional, physical sensation, and intuition. Then let's look at emotion. A hyponym of feeling, emotional kind of feeling, especially mental or psychological states, or the positive or negative. A hyponym of joy, fear, anger, sadness. Then positive emotions are negative too, like this melancholy. A hyponym of emotion, emotion with positive valence. A hyponym of joy, happiness, excitement, pride, and love. So knowing that emotion is positive rules out, so it is in opposite to negative emotion, which is fear, danger, sadness. Then joy, Hushi in Urdu, basic level hyponym of positive emotion. Joy is a kind of positive emotion. It is a feeling. So let's look at the negative one. Udasi in Urdu, which is melancholy, sadness, melancholy, a basic level hyponym of negative emotion, particularly used in Urdu poetry. A semantic field of negative emotion forms a rich co-hyponym set. And so let's look at furniture categories now. Object, furniture, sitting, chair, sofa, table, and armchair. Well, this is what it is. We'll just look at it. The broadest physical subordinate cover all physical things, furniture, tools, food. Then we're specifying object. This is furniture, that we're dealing with the category of furniture. The food is out of it. Then these are table, chair, sofa. It is really everything related to furniture. Then we're coming to sitting. A hyponym of furniture designed for sitting, table, bench, stool. This excludes tables. These are hyponym of chair, sofa, and bench. This excludes table as sitting is to sit on. You, in semantic meaning, you do not sit on tables. Well, actually, it is done, but we're looking at semantic definitions, which are in our lexicon. Beds and bookshelves. Then chair. Chair is to sit on, so it is including sitting. Then sofa, then armchair again. Table, co-hyponym of sitting under furniture but incompatible with it. A table is furniture but not sitting. Tables or chairs. Table and chairs are co-hyponyms of furniture but belong to different intermediate categories. So this is how you do semantic analysis of hyponym and hypernym. Let's move forward. It's taken quite a lot of time. Hyponym creates entailment. So let's look at it. Hyponym has a precise logical consequence. Sentence using a hyponym entails sentence using its hyponym. Now that's confusing, but if you understand it, it's going to be quite a lot easy. So let's look at downward entailment, which is hyponym moving to hyponym. There is a robin in the garden. necessarily entails there is a bird in the garden, as Robin is a bird. So this shows if Robin is a bird, if there is a robin, that must be a bird, as every robin is a bird. A hypernym's truth guarantees the hypernym's truth. This direction always here you cannot have a robin without a bird, whereas upward entailment there is a bird in the garden. This does not entail that there is a robin in the garden. It can be any bird, like eagle, pigeon, owl, crow. It can be any bird. So this is what entailment is, that hypernym entails hypernym, but hypernym does not entail hypernym. So this is it. Then negation of hypernym. Negating hypernym entails negating hypernym. That is not an animal. Necessarily entails that is not a dog. Well, if something is not an animal, obviously it is not going to be a dog, because dog is an animal. Then negation of hypernym. Negating hypernym does not entail negating hypernym. This is not a dog does not mean this is not an animal, because if it is not a dog, it can be any other living being. It can be any other animal. Well, it can be cat or anything. So this does not entail animal, because specificity cannot entail general. Generality can entail specificity. So let's move forward. The basic level category. Not all levels of hypernym hierarchy are cognitively equal. Psychologist Eleanor Roche showed that there is a basic level, the most natural cognitively privileged level at which people typically name and think about things. This level is not the most specific, not the most general. It is a middle that people use more naturally and faster. So let's look at it. The superordinate level is animal, too general. Name the worst category. Children learn this level. Lost mental images vague, rarely the first word that comes to mind. Basic level, most natural, the sweet spot. First word children learn, as we talk to children, we say, oh, look at this, this is a dog. So it is rich mental image, you've seen it, so you know that this is a dog. So then, after that, you learn that this is an animal. Then subordinate level Labrador. Too specific, requires expert knowledge. Children learn this after basic level. Adds information, but at cognitive cost, which is you have to be specific that if this is a Labrador, this is not another breed of dog. The basic level is the level at which categories have the most internal coherence, which are members that share the most attributes and the greatest contrast with other categories at the same level. So example is in Urdu, kutta, which is dog, is basic level, janwar, animal is superordinate, then Labrador is subordinate. The basic level is also the level at which shape recognition is fast, and people can identify a dog faster than an animal shape or a Labrador shape. So this is what I'm talking about. That first you get to know about the dog, then you are taught that this is an animal which is different from humans, and if you're looking at a specific type, Labrador, then it is, you can say that this is Labrador and this one is not. So first you learn about dog, then animal, and then breeds. Lexical gap, where hypernyms are missing. Language does not always have hypernym for every set of co-hypernyms. When a group of words share the same superordinate conceptually, but the language lacks a word for that superordinate, we call it lexical gap. So these gaps reveal how different languages carve up the world differently, and where one language needs a phrase where another has a single word. So we're going to look at lexical gaps now. So let's look at the first one, which is foot, hand, no superordinate. English has no single hyponym covering both hand and foot together as a terminal limb segment. Languages like Russian have a broader term. English must say extremities, medical, or hands and feet, but no basic level hyponym for both. Let's go to check what's written. Okay, it is written in Russian, this one. So this is the term for hand and foot, which is in Russian but not in English. Then cooking vessels, no hyponym. So English has pot, pan, wok, casserole, saucepan, skillet, but no single basic level hyponym covering all cooking vessels used on a stovetop. A cookware is a hyponym, but it is technical and covers too much, including oven dishes too. Then Urdu, uncle, aunt gap in English. Urdu has, we have already discussed it many times, that they have more semantic categories and more broader terms as compared to us. So Urdu has chacha, paternal uncle, mamu, maternal uncle, papu, paternal aunt, hala, maternal aunt. 4 distinct hyponyms. English only has uncle and aunt as hyponyms, covering both sides. The hyponym exists in Urdu, but the dictionaries are gap. But the distinctions are gap in English. So this shows that not everything is available in English. There are some cases that it is not, like this foot and hand, which is available in Russian but not in English, like this Urdu uncle aunt gap, available in Urdu but not in English. So color term across languages, Russian has 2 basic level color terms where English has 1. So this is written is Russian, we're taking dark blue, and again Russian, light blue, синее, голубой. English blue is a hyponym for both. This gap means Russian speakers are faster at discriminating shades of English, say the blue, than English speakers. The lexical differences are has perceptual consequences. So this shows that these are available in Russian but not in English. This says the gap, another gap are coming. Sibling term, Japanese gap in English. Japanese distinguish younger and older sibling. Like this time, these are written in Japanese. Ani, older brother, ototo, which is younger brother. Then ani, anne, it is anne, older sister. Imoto, which is younger sister. English has brother and sister. Well, let's scroll. Okay. Brother and sister are hyponyms that cover both older and younger systems. The gap distinction hyponyms are gap in English. Well, they're not available in English, where they are in Japanese. Let's look at Urdu Darya versus Nadi. Okay, we're going to into Urdu. Urdu distinguishes Darya, which is large river, from Nadi, small stream or river. English only has river is a hyponym which covers both stream. Stream covers the small ones, but the boundary is fuzzy. In English, Urdu's distinction is lexically clean and clear, marking the size difference as categorically significant. So this shows the gaps, like this one is available in Japanese but not in English. The gap, another one for word usage. Then gap on hand and foot, available in Russian but not in English. Cooking vessel, no specific term, no general term. Then Urdu's uncle aunt gap in English. And color terms gap in English, Russian has it. Then let's move forward. Build the hierarchy. So we're going to select the domains and we're going to build the hierarchy. Let's check it. First one is already built, which is bird. Superordinate animal. Animal basic level is bird, then co-hyponyms robin, sparrow, eagle, penguin, owl, flamingo, sparrow. Another translation also written, which is term used in Urdu, which is chiriya, then sparrow in Urdu is tota. So this told us entailment that there is a sparrow, which entails there is a bird, which entails there is an animal. So the reverse does not hold. If you say there is an animal, you cannot entail that there is a bird because not every animal is a bird. Now let's look at sports. So activity, sargarmi in Urdu, superordinate, basic level, sports, which in Urdu terms are also written kale. Co-hyponyms, cricket, then football, tennis, hockey, swimming, chess, and kabaddi. So this says cricket is being played. This entails a sport is being played. Let's look at languages. Superordinate is communication system, basic level, which is hypernym is language. Co-hyponyms are Urdu, Arabic, English, Persian, Hindi, Punjabi, Sindhi, and other much more languages. So every utterance in Urdu is utterance in language. If you say she speaks Urdu, this entails she speaks a language. Now let's look at fruit. So this is again superordinate fruit, food or plant product. Basic level we're going as downwards, so it is fruit, which is pulp. Then co-hyponyms there, which are going to be categories, are mango, apple, orange, banana, grape, pomegranate, guava, and lychee. Let's look at clothing. Superordinate wearable items, basic level hyponymy is clothing, and co-hyponyms are shirt, trouser, dress, shalwar, kameez, dupatta, coat, or sari. Then food in Urdu, these are Urdu examples. We have taken them for understanding of the speakers too. Superordinate are substance or food, basic level cooking dishes, then co-hyponyms are the dishes that are loved by many of the people. We can say not everyone. Biryani, pulao, nihari, halim, dal, which is lentils, karahi, curry, which is salan, and kaleji. So let's look at it. Hyponymy level, that there is a biryani, this entails there is a cooking dish, which entails there is a food. So these are the hierarchy of starting from superordinate going to subordinate. Let's look at co-hyponyms and semantic fields. So words that share the same immediate hyponyms are called co-hyponyms. They are sibling in the hierarchy at the same level under the same parent category. Robin, sparrow, eagle, penguin, and ostrich are the co-hyponyms of birds. Co-hyponyms form a core of semantic field clusters of related words at the same level of the hierarchy. They are also incompatible with each other. Something cannot be simultaneously a robin and sparrow. Applying one co-hyponym rules out all others at the same level. So co-hyponyms are not synonyms that denote different things within the same category. They're contrasting members of the set, not interchangeable or alternatives. So the distinction between co-hyponyms and synonyms is essential for precise semantic analysis. Co-hyponyms are categories within the same set, like bird has co-hyponyms, which are sparrow, ostrich, eagle, penguin, and many others. So they're not synonyms. Synonyms are same in meaning or similar in meaning. So this is the co-hyponym of bird, robin. This is where we have already discussed. So none of them are synonyms, as they're different things. Hyponymy and hyponymy in Urdu, we're going to look at just an example of Urdu. Some of the terms, like as gulab entails fool, which entails poda, which entails jandar. A clear four-level hyponymy chain Every gulab is a fool, every pool is a poda, every poda is a chandar. So this is entailments shows. Then cha-cha rishtar, cha-cha entails rishtar. Urdu's kinship system has rich hyponymy, we have already discussed it. Then biryani entails chawal, which entails khana, the biryani rice and food. Then emotion, which is hof, entails jazba, which is emotion, which entails ehsas, which is feeling or sense. So mamu checha, this entails what? Well, a clear example of lexical gap created by Urdu's rich hyponyms. Mamu chacha are co-hyponyms of Rishtadar, but there is no basic level Urdu hypernym meaning specifically uncle, who is your parent's brother. The category exists, the immediate hypernym is missing. So this is again kutta, which entails genre, which entails mahluk, like shan, this dog entails animal, which entails creature. So these are the example of Urdu. So this follow the same pattern like in English as we have already discussed in the start, that every language has a pattern. They have same principle, parameters are different. So some concept, as we've discussed earlier, were in English, some in Russian and some in Japanese. So these are the parameters we have discussed in Semantics, principles of parameters. You can check it from there for better understanding. A hyponymy is the skeleton of lexicon, the taxonomic structure that holds everything in place. Without it, words would float free of each other, unconnected to any system of categories. Say, hyponyms join everything, connects everything, showing everything in a proper structure, does not let everything go room freely, which would disrupt the total pattern on which our work, a thesis stand, that the language follows a pattern. Let's look at knowledge check quiz part. First one, what is the diagnostic sentence that tests for hyponym between word X and word Y? Well, the answer is right. Hey, they're clearly written for you to understand. X and X is a kind of Y. If this sentence is true, X is the hyponym of Y and Y is hypernym. And there is a mango in the bowl. What does this entail about fruit? And does there is a fruit in the bowl entails anything about mangoes? The mango sentence entails the fruit sentence. Hyponym always hold. The fruit sentence does not entail the mango sentence. Yes, here it is. We have discussed that this can be any other fruit, apple, orange, banana. So it's hyponym to hyponym. Hyponym to hyponym. We're going up. So as you're going up, this entails. And downward movement, it's not going to. Then according to Eleanor Roche research, what is the basic level in the hyponym hierarchy and why it is cognitively privileged? The middle level we have discussed is the middle level is the most natural and faster retrieval and first line that balances maximum information with minimum cognitive effort. So first we learn dog, then animal, then its breeds. And robin, sparrow, eagle, and penguin are all co-hyponyms of bird. What two relations hold between robin and sparrow? Well, co-hyponym. This is the answer. They are co-hyponym sharing the same hyponym bird and incompatible. You cannot call something both robin and sparrow, applying one excludes the other. So in Urdu, Mamu maternal uncle and Chacha paternal uncle both exist, but English only has uncle. What does this demonstrate about lexical relations across languages? Urdu has more specific hyponyms at the lower level of hierarchy than English. We have already discussed it many times. Then that is not an animal. What does this entail about specific animal like cat, dogs, bird? It entails that this is not a bird, which entails that not cat, not a bird, not any other animal. Negating hypernym negates all hypernyms beneath it. Then a lexical gap occurs when language has co-hypernyms but lacks a hypernym for them. What does this reveal about language and cognition? Well, this is the answer that conceptual categories and lexical categories do not perfectly align. Language has specific terms without general terms, like we have discussed about as English cookwares do not have a journal terms for them. So that's it for today. I hope you understand it. Again, please do like, subscribe and share and comment too, as it means a lot. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.